Neanderthals, the canines, the right-wing podcasters, and everybody else in between. How's it doing? How's it doing out there, folks? What are you all up to? Well, we're going to get started here tonight for Night Owls, and early for me, although I'm pretty knackered. Early for me because I'm in the Central Time Zone, so it's just 10 p.m. here, although it is 11 p.m. on the East Coast, which is when I normally do this. So let's get it cracking here, and we're going to open this up with some music. All right, I usually play the Colonels, but let's try something a little different tonight and see how that goes. Okay, make sure we're set with the chat going where I can see it. All right, there we go. That's looking good. Okay, first one here. It seems caffeine. Okay, well, caffeine can be your friend. It can also be addictive. So take that for however you want. All right, folks. Pot boils over.
The water's rising slow and hot. The frog's still dreaming in the pot. Steam whispers secrets to the air. Do you jump or do you dare? Tick tock, the heat won't stop. The lid shakes like it's gonna pop. The pot boils over again. Pressure rising, no way to pretend you can stay or leave. Take your shot. Pot boils over, like it or not. Cyril's cards fell just as planned. He dealt the aces, played his hand, but the crowd's awake. Their voice is loud, a restless wave, a roaring crowd. Tick tock, the time runs thin. Boiling point, it's sink or swim. The pot boils over again. Pressure rising, no way to pretend you can stay or leave. Take your shot. Pot boils over, like it or not. Pot boils over again. Pressure rising, no way to pretend you can stay or leave. Take your shot. The pot boils over, like it or not. Pot boils over. 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 Like it or not.
The pot boils over, folks. Welcome back to the program. This is Chris live in Alabama. North Central Alabama, not Central Pennsylvania. Welcome back, folks. How you all doing out there? Yeah, busy day today. Oof, man, I'm knackered. I have had 2 hours sleep in the last 36 hours, I think. So busy day. So today, so many of you know that flew down to Alabama to meet up with refugees down here, and I did meet refugees today who are very grateful, who are making a smooth transition, whose FEMA tent, I must say, is better than my house. And their car guard job is quite nice. They're doing a great job here as car guards. It's been really lovely. Now, not everything is smooth sailing for them, but this has got to be the most grateful people I've ever seen. Grateful for what opportunities been afforded to them based on discrimination they were facing back in South Africa. So yeah. Before we go any further, though, I did a short a little while ago. I was going to say I did a short while ago when I was sitting outside of Starbucks in a nifty little upscale neighborhood. I did a little Google search and said, where is a nice shopping mall near me? And it took me a place about 10 kilometers away, up over the hills. And I didn't know they had hills here in Birmingham. Guess I don't know the topography that well. And yeah, nice little Mexican restaurant there I ate at. Went to Starbucks, got myself a Frappuccino, and bought up a little mug for Alabama. But anyway, looked at comments while I was at dinner, and it's just amazing to me. Some gentleman I saw wrote a comment, and he said that until I thought that you're anti-black South African. Where do you get that from? Now, I'm not targeting the gentleman. I'm just saying this is not a big and not a racist. I'm going to talk about those people, but where do people get that from? I mean, I get flack from people on the far right because, excuse me, I constantly get flack from people on the far right because I don't let people stereotype 43 million black South Africans or 6 million colored South Africans or 1.3 million Indian South Africans. I don't let people come up with the nonsense that only white people are discriminated against. They are heavily discriminated against, but they're not the only ones. Just because something's written in law doesn't mean that people escape the bigotry of the ANC and its ruling elites. So I take a lot of grief for that. At the same time, I stand up and defend Afrikaners vociferously and white South Africans vociferously. And I also promote Tswana, Basotho culture and Afrikaans. And how people don't see that, it just astounds me. And what this comes down to, ladies and gentlemen, is it's what have you done for in the last 5 minutes? The entire life of a person is boiled up for so many people on social media in the post they just made or a video that person saw. Completely out of context of one's life. As I've said before, I'm comfortable with who I am, and I'm comfortable with what happens to me when I get to the pearly gates. I'm good to go. I'm not worried about that. So I appreciate the gentleman who's black who said until recently thought I was anti-black. I don't know where he got that from. Obviously, he's not watching the breadth of my content. For the gentleman who came to my channel and he was offended because I said economic migrants can piss off, well, you should listen to what I say and not take offense, and then, you're going to disassociate yourself from me. Well, dude, your comment that, they did the same thing to me same people did this to me in Zimbabwe or Rhodesia. The same people. So the people that run Rhodesia, Zimbabwe, are the same people running South Africa. So ZANU-PF is running South Africa? No, of course, and that's not what he meant. He meant to say black people. So he's characterizing 14 million blacks in Zimbabwe with 43 million blacks in South Africa, saying they're all the same. That's bigotry, and I'm sorry. And if you want to disassociate yourself from me, that's fine, because I don't cotton bigots, don't cotton racists. You're not welcome to be here. But it was very rude and disrespectful. I'm going to disassociate myself from you. Whatever. As I've been very clear with this whole thing, this program is not for economic migrants looking for a better life. And those who've been with the program a long time know that's exactly what's going on here. People are like, well, I want to go here and I want this and I want this. You can want all you want. I want a Lamborghini. Then I want a palatial mansion, in Blaubergstrand. But that ain't going to happen. It's just not going to happen. It's not in the cards, So you can want in one hand and crap in the other and see what happens. You just have a smelly hand and nobody's going to associate with you. So, it's just people hear what they want to hear. It's just astounding to me. Some people say, just ignore this stuff. Why ignore it? Why not these people be disrespectful, rude to me, and I don't get a response? I ignore most of it, but sometimes. So that gentleman says he's going to disassociate from me because his feelings were hurt. I didn't call out his name. Notice I'm not calling out his name now, and I'm not exposing him now. But he has the audacity to be a rude prick, bastard, little shitball on my channel and insult me. Yeah, Arctic, you are an economic migrant. That's a different story. But you're not welcome to the refugee program because you're an economic migrant. You came here legally, and you did what happened. The piss off is the people that are trying to exploit the refugee program as an economic migrant. That's who the piss off is for. There are people in desperate need who need to get out. And people who are just looking for better circumstances, they're comfortable and going to take advantage of it. That's what I'm saying, piss off. Because they're the same people bitching and moaning all the time, always complaining about stuff. Anyway, so yeah, and then the black supremacist who came on and said something to me about the EFF. I'm like, seriously? Trying to tell me the EFF represents all black people. That's just as stupid as what the white guy said. That's even just as dumb. The white guy said something stupid, now the black guy says something stupid. The EFF doesn't represent anybody other than 1 million losers who voted for them in the last election. That's it. Correct, Arctic. It's not for you, but maybe for your family members. Exactly. So there we have an actual economic migrant to America, a legitimate economic migrant. That's Arctic, who followed the rules, paid a fortune to come here, and is contributing to American society. And by the way, we love the taxes you're paying, Arctic. Thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. Anyway, so yeah, people really need to pay attention. It's frustrating. So that's why, I've told this to people so many times. Anyway, so you're probably wondering what I did today. Okay, so here's what we did. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag, okay? I know some of you have figured this out already, but not everyone has. So here's the deal, folks. Today, after arriving Birmingham, checked in my hotel. Let me check in early this morning. I appreciate that. Did the live broadcast, then went out to the Regents Park, Regents Field, which is where the Birmingham Barons play. That's the baseball team here. It's a team that Michael Jordan played for when he played minor league baseball. They were the champions last year, so went out there. I got there just in time. I apparently started blocking the street off at a certain hour, so it was like 2:30 when I got out there, and I'm looking for parking. I found a spot on the street that it was okay to park in. Otherwise, I had to pay like $15 or $5 or something. I don't know. So I found a spot. It was legal. Went into a brewery, and I'm going to go there tomorrow and interview those people. Really cool place. And I'm going to interview them about their brewery. It's huge, microbrewery. I'm going to check it out. But anyway, so then Earl Langdon and his wife met up with me at the brewery. So I heard someone on my shoulder saying, "Hey, Chris," and it was them, but I knew they were coming, so that's why I came down here to interview Earl. So we went to minor league baseball, and it was the first time Earl and his wife had ever been to a baseball game. How cool is that? So I've introduced my nephew to rugby and reintroduced a lot of South Africans to rugby, a game they love, but they'd abandoned. I've introduced my mother to ice hockey before she passed away. She loved it. And I've introduced Earl and his wife to baseball. They seemed to enjoy it too. Honestly, it was a boring game, folks. It was a boring game until about the seventh inning. They won 4-0, but it was 1-0 after like 7 innings. It was kind of like sleep-inducing. It was hot, but really nice family fun event. After the game, it was family night, so families brought their kids, hundreds of kids, down to the field. They got to run the bases. It was so cool watching these little kids run down there. Some toddlers with their parents. It was pretty cool. So that was Earl. Tomorrow I'll be interviewing Earl again. We're going to try to do a live. But the problem is that the hotel plays loud music. I have to pay for the business room, $50. I'll do it, but I have to book it online. I can't just use it. They got a couple free rooms, but they're tiny as all hell. And doing it up here, there's a lot of traffic on the road. There's only one chair in the room, so I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. But we'll try to sort it out in the morning. Earl and I will do a couple short videos, and then we'll do a live stream. That's the plan. Okay? So I'm not going to set the time because I don't want to disappoint, but it's going to be around 2 o'clock South Africa. No, wait. No. It's going to be 8 o'clock here. So that's going to be 3 o'clock South African time. Yeah, it's going to be about 3 o'clock South African time tomorrow afternoon. Around that time, it should go live. We'll do it off my mobile, just like I'm doing now. It'll be Earl and I talking. So we're going to talk about his experiences here, and this is going to be, to my knowledge, the first in-person interview with a refugee by a content creator, not by a news outlet. We know that Annika Larson came over, and she's already interviewed him in person, which is a pretty good interview. But yeah, so looking forward to that. Should be interesting. So Earl is and his family are adapting very well. I'll be having dinner with their family tomorrow night. That'll be very nice. And Tuesday I head back. So there you go. So I thought that I'd just bring up to date what's going on, why I'm down here. And so, look, folks, I go the extra mile. I mean, I've interrupted my time as I'm prepping for the Women's World Cup in England to come down here to do this at this opportunity. Also, I'll be working on something which I can't disclose yet in late September in another part of the country. Not this project, different project. So it's interesting. Some things are happening. It's pretty cool. And we can bring better content as a consequence of it. But for those whose feelings are hurt because you infer something incorrectly, I'd ask that you actually pay attention to the content. If someone's feelings get hurt and they just disappear after one comment, that's juvenile. That's children. If I left every time somebody offended me, there'd be no channel here. Every night some clown comes in and offends me, is disrespectful and rude. I don't leave. I'm still here every night, still doing it every night. All right. So let's see what you're all saying in the chat, since I can't see squat without these glasses on because my eyes are tired. Okay, so funny hearing you guys say good morning when it's only 10 o'clock at night here. People who are well off are using it as a chance to save money instead. Well, Maddie, there's nothing wrong with that, but then, don't be attacking me because you don't like what I have to say if you're using it for that reason. Okay. The guy that made the argument did not make a solid argument. Sorry, Skuman. Good to see you there. Millions of EFF followers take what EFF says as gospel. Yes, Loretta, I understand that it's true, and that's so I said something and somebody said something rude to me about that. But anyway, yeah, I got you. Was there first at the game? Yeah, the first time, Ingrid. It's the first time going to a baseball game. Yep. CB's here, okay. Odin's Viking. But interesting to hear from Earl again. Yeah, it will be. And this time in person, Maddie. So even if I can't live stream, then we'll go out somewhere and we'll record it. I'll use the tripod and we'll just chat. So just be shorter. Yeah, Friday had to go for SASA review to keep getting my pension. put me in the wrong queue. Have to go back. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's terrible. Sorry to hear that, Karen. Good evening, Michelle. How's it going? Wow, Karen. Yeah, that's terrible. It reminds me of the Long Run. Is that what it's called? With Armand Mullerstahl, where he played an ethnic German in South Africa after the advent of 1994, and he was a foreman at a brick factory, and he was aced out by a BE hire, and he was the coach of the ultra marathon running team, and then that little savant, little genius black BE guy was in the movie, pushed him out of that, and so he took his life away from him, and so he had no job, he had no coaching, and he had run the comrades and never finished it because he just couldn't make it. So this Namibian from Germany, or this Namibian who spoke German, was a runner. He ran into her riding a combi because he rode the combis with the black folks. And he's like, wow, she's got talent. She became a runner and he became her coach. And it's pretty good. It's a good movie, The Long Run. It's by starring Armin Mullerstahl, one of my favorite movies, a long time ago. Iris loves me long time. Yeah, GI. We love you a long time. Yep. They love me too, I promise. Okay. Okay. That is correct, expat family Joubert. It's open to everyone as long as you regard as financial. But the comment that I made about, economic migrants piss off was the people who are like, well, I want to go here and I want this and it hasn't been done and I'm upset with this. I'm sad. This is unfair. I was promised everything. Those are not people in peril. People bitching like that are not in peril. No. People in peril are grateful for an opportunity to get the hell out, and they're not going to complain about things. That's how that works. I've dealt with people in peril before. Yep. Husky, I'm glad you appreciate it. I do too. Thank you. My glasses fell off my bedside. Damn, it was a mission to get them from under the bed. I can't see without. Shame, Julie. I can see without mine, but it's just the reading I can't do because the print is so small on this laptop. Song about stupid people. Yeah, well, stupid people should carry signs, right? But that's a Bill Engvall thing. Chris, listen to you when you have time. Thanks for your program. Well, thank you, Tinnis. Thank you. Gypsy Backpackers, good there. Yeah, Ingrid says some people should grow a pair. grow up. We're not all going to agree on everything. If their feelings get hurt, they should carry around a box of Band-Aids. I agree 100%. Americana has put a post on X saying that if you were on a work visa, you may not qualify. Okay, so Charisse, without any reference to Amerikaners, I covered this very early on. I said that under the letter of the law, if you're not in South Africa, you won't qualify under the letter of the law. That's what I said from the very beginning. I said we don't know how the program's going to play out, however. You have to be in South Africa. Now, it depends how this is interpreted, and we don't know because we've not been given this insight by the State Department. If you are on a temporary work visa, you have not left South Africa. You just happen to be abroad temporarily, whether it's a week, a month, 3 months, 6 months, whatever. You don't have permanent residency. You're not living in that place. That's not your permanent abode. Your permanent record, home record, is in South Africa, which is where you return to after your short-term contract is up, whether it's working on a luxury yacht in the Caribbean or it's, working, as an accountant in Dubai. So this is my analysis of it. That doesn't mean it's going to be true. So in that instance, it seems plausible and reasonable that you'd be able to apply for the program. Now, you'd have to go to South Africa to be interviewed, most likely. That's what I said all along. So, you can't expect people to starve by not taking short-term work offer just so they can wait for months for a program that they have no guarantee that they're going to get a call on. So it flies in the face of common sense. Thus far, pretty much everything that's panned out in this program is panned out in favor of common sense. So hopefully that will continue to be the case, but we don't know the answer to that, Teresa. So that's my take on that. Here's what I have to say. If you are on a temporary work visa somewhere and you're interested in it, why don't you apply? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. First off, if you're turned down for the refugee resettlement program, that doesn't mean you can't apply again, not unless you commit a crime or you lied to us. You can apply again if the circumstances change. Like, for instance, if they say, well, you can't come because you're in Dubai right now. Okay, when you're back in South Africa, reapply. I'm in South Africa now. I'm not in Dubai. I'm in jeopardy. So That's not the answer you're looking for, Charisse, but it's the best answer is out there. What Amerikaners are saying is what I've told you since February 7th. February 7th, I've said that. So, Maddie, I don't know what Professor G said one of these about an H2A guy flying back. I don't know. That was my analysis of that too. Is that if you're here in H2A, that you go ahead and apply and you go back to South Africa for your interview. Your home of record is in Limpopo or Northwest or Free State, wherever you're at. Dino, hey Marcus, EU secure video. Yes, they did. 15%. Yeah, I just published a video about that. That's why the stream restarted, because it doesn't let me do two things at once. I had to cancel the stream so I can make a short video about the tariffs. The tariff Armageddon is 4 days away, folks. 4 days away. 4 days away. Sharice, you're welcome. Okay, good for you. Well, you haven't applied. You've put a statement of interest. Let me clarify that. So that's an important note, too. So people make that distinction. It sounds petty, but it's important. You've not applied for asylum. That will be the form, the I-450 or whatever the form is, when you get accepted. You put that application in. What you've done is you've given a statement of interest. And see, that's another thing. The statement of interest is not binding. You're not under a contract to go to America now. You're not forced to go to America. If your circumstances change or you decide to stay, then you can pull out of it. It's expressing your interest so they can gauge the interest, so they can see if you're qualified, so they can process you, so if you still want to, you can get the hell out of Dodge. Does that make sense? All right, cheers. Jack up from Minnesota, Vanna Kurtza. Didn't see any promises, just a helping hand. Exactly. There are no promises. Nobody made any promises. It's just a lie by some troll. Lucky bus was late to... Oh, my goodness. No, I wouldn't walk 4 or 12 kilometers. I wouldn't walk 1 kilometer in the dark. South Africa. Louis van Niekerk is in from Durban. If one holds a UK passport but rides to say, do you think they would have a chance to accept it? No, I don't think they have any chance, Anne. If you are a UK citizen and you're living in South Africa, you can go home to the UK. It wouldn't apply to you. However, if you're married to a South African who qualifies, that's a different story. That's a different story. If you're a British passport holder and you're married to a South African who's eligible, then you would be able to come, because they're not going to split your family up. Well, Ann, so if you're a British national, I'm sorry, you can go ahead and apply. I mean, look, and nothing ventured, nothing gained. It's not costing you anything to put a statement of interest in. If it's what you desire, why wouldn't you do it? But I don't think you're going to get it. I mean, though your name is Bota, so there must be some strange thing going on in the family line back there that puts you down as English back. But you have to answer the question why you have a British passport. Do you have a South African passport, and are you residing in South Africa? If you have a South African passport, even if you have a British passport, and you're residing in South Africa, then apply. Well, then apply, Ann. When it comes to the question about whether you have another passport, be honest. This is what I've told people all along, folks. You have to listen to me very carefully. Do not, through an act of omission or an act of commission, which is an act of lie, do not lie or mislead. It will bite you in the ass. They do thorough background checks. It's one reason why there are thousands of people right now. Plus, there's no money until the new fiscal year. But they do thorough background checks. Trust me, that's what I did. As a counterintelligence agent, as a federal law enforcement officer, I investigate people's backgrounds. Yes, we find all your dirty little secrets. And if you are a multiple passport holder and you fail to mention that when you're asked that, or you fail to disclose that, well, that can be seen as something that you're trying to hide and be looked upon unfavorably. For me personally, I don't believe in dual citizenship. I think it's total bull squirt. It's total poppycock. You cannot owe fealty to two states. And a lot of people disagree with me. But you know who disagrees with me? Usually people have 2 or more passports. I don't buy that. You don't have 2 or more passports. You don't get to destination shop. You owe fealty to one nation state, and that's it, unless you change your affiliation. That's why my son actually going to put on SOI whilst in Louisiana. Yeah, he'll be there if they call. Yep, there are like 30 questions on normal visa application. They catch you in a lie, you're screwed. Exactly. Thank you, Art. That's right. They catch you in a lie. And by the way, folks, here's the thing. So I don't want to conflate asylum and refugee, but let me explain something. If you're denied refugee asylum status and you are living here, you're kicked out. You're probably never coming back under any circumstances, any visa. If you apply for a visa, or if you apply for a refugee status and you're denied because they found the reason wasn't compelling, you can come here on a tourist visa. You can come here on H-1B visa. You can come on H-2A visa. You can come on a visa. It's not a negative action. However, losing an asylum case is a negative action against you. Losing a refugee status, not being granted a refugee status, I shouldn't say, never achieving it, is not a strike against you. That's an important distinction. That's why I tell people, go for refugee. Why would you want anything but refugee? It's free. It's free. Eric asked me, 7-year-old was a terrorist. I don't think the kid was 7 at the time. But yeah, the child is kind of a terrorist. Excuse me. All right, so there's a little bit of content to talk about tonight. First of all, let me take a look at Silver Eagle. We're up to 491. Boy, if we have 500 monthly listeners, I'd be pretty excited about DJ Silver Eagle in short order, folks. It's only been up for a couple weeks. We'll get almost 500 people on here. Thank you all for listening. We're getting quite a repertoire of music. We're up to almost 40 songs now. You can listen to stuff nonstop on the way it's going. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Somebody's listening to it right now. Yep. So, yeah. Let me just check this. Disto. There you go. Check my record distributor. Go to stats. Let's see what they say. Okay. Over 5,600 streams so far. Cool. 5,646. Cool. Why you guys laugh? Oh, we already say. Oh, because it's terrorist. Yeah. That's his little terrorist, not mine. Anyway, so the photo for the thumbnail for this is the Regent's Park where the Barons play at. Drink coffee. Well, why don't I drink coffee, man? Maddie's saying not chosen, accepted. Yeah, I'm not sure what that context is, but it's probably a better term, accepted, rather than chosen. We're not the chosen ones. Did somebody say something about Byron Shepherd's health being poor? I thought I saw something in the stream earlier today. I missed that. Someone said Byron isn't feeling well. Well, she is a fan of Blue Oyster Cult, isn't she? Chantel, I have no idea what you just typed there. You're yawning. Okay. Well, am I pulling faces? Yep. All right. So we have reached an agreement with Europeans. Yes, indeed. We have an agreement. So where's this at? U.S. has a firm deadline. He's a family don't care what they put us, how many jabs we need to take. Yeah. Well, that's another thing. Remember that? Oh my goodness! When I told people they had to get the jabs, and all those people. So let's just run through some of the stuff where people they throw their toys out of the pram. I'm just silly. So remember the whole situation about passports, all the money about passports. I don't have any money. I don't have any money. Like, or bronchitis. Okay, thank you, Momo. Thank you for that. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. So. All the money about passports, remember that? And then some of you went out and made it happen. You stood in a street corner and begged for money, or you sold something, or you stopped smoking, you stopped drinking and raised the money, and you did a positive step instead of just moaning about it. That was the first thing people moaned about. Remember that? All the passports. Oh my goodness. Then the when people realized they had to get immunizations, I'm not getting that. And then these idiots who attacked me, accused me of being pro-COVID, pro-jab, because I told them they had to get the jabs. Not for COVID, that's not required, but for measles, mumps, rubella, things like that, yellow fever, you have no choice. These are the same requirements to travel anywhere. So, and these people are being idiots and attacking me. So, passports, jabs, and now they just come with a whole bunch of other stuff. These are not real refugees. These are just trolls or people who are silly. Wow. Okay. She's been gone for a weekend, singing music and is playing loud and clearing the house. Aw, shame. Well, get her hooked on music. Refugee question sessions Sundays. Yep. What did Ann ask? Oh, I do lives how often do I lives? Ann, you must have just discovered the program. I do news every day at noon, my time, which is 6 p.m. It's always based in South Africa time, 6 p.m. We start with South Africa, we work around Africa, go around the world, end up with the U.S., and I take news stories, I analyze them, and I point out all the propaganda that's in the news stories. Sorry, I can't stand the reflection in these glasses. So it's very distracting. So I point out where it's op-ed and not news, and if I tell you if it's bogus or not from my analysis, my experience of decades. And then we usually chat after that. Lately, we started making music. We do make AI songs. We have a lot of fun with that. And it goes on my DJ Silver Eagle label. Which is on Spotify, Weezer, and a whole bunch of other places. So that's every day, 6 p.m. South Africa time, 7 days a week. Holidays, doesn't matter, as long as I'm not traveling. Then because of the refugee thing, I started having late night chat sessions. So that's also tied to South Africa time loosely. It was tied to 6 a.m. when we were 7 hours difference. But when we went to daylight savings time and she jumped forward, we're only 6 hours, and that was a bit much for me to be up at midnight broadcasting for an hour and a half, 2 hours every night. So I moved it back to 11 p.m. So 11 p.m. So it's still 9 hours for me. Okay. So that's plus I do prepare videos all the time. I have other channels. I do rugby on Rugby Senate. This weekend was pretty miserable. Ask Fonz. He didn't enjoy it as the Griquas got slaughtered, the Sharks got slaughtered, and then the Province side was slaughtered, and then the Cheetahs choked. So very bad weekend for me for rugby. What else? Okay. SA Clown Show. Rena, don't worry about it. Just another Manic Monday. Exactly right. People who are cherry picking and moaning about that, they're not really in jeopardy. You want to jail people criticizing B? That's Heidi. That's an interpretation. I've read the law. I don't see that in the law, but maybe I'm missing something. I'll accept that I'm missing something, but I've looked through the law and I don't see that. So that's an interpretation people are making. All right, it's time for a musical interlude again, I think. We're 30 minutes in. Thanks for listening. It's time for Radio Afterlife, folks, and let's see what we're going to play tonight. We want to do this, the steamed crabs, just ain't boiling frogs. That one's good. Now, I think maybe we'll do something a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? Popular? Yeah. Stuck in the Groove, that's a good one. Yeah, Stuck in the Groove is a good choice, I think. Well, let's do this. Let's do a little short Afrikaans one, okay? We'll do a little Afrikaans. South Africa, my geboorteplek, my tuiste.
Zuid-Afrika, mijn geboorteplek, mijn tuiste, van zeebond tot Margate. En Punte tussenin, ons is liever ons prachtige thee. Waar ons harten volwassen geword het, maar tijd in ons gedraaid. En de stad om te gaan. Zuid-Afrika, mijn geboorteplek, mijn tuiste, van zeebond tot Margate. En Punte tussenin, ons is liever ons prachtige thee. Waar ons harten volwassen geword het, maar tijd in ons gedraaid. En de stad om te gaan.
Yeah, that's a nice one. It's a short one. I wrote those lyrics. They were really short. Yeah, I haven't played this one. I haven't played this in a while. I'm applying for my passport, unabridged certificate, marriage certificate, waiting for it. I heard something. Please, can you clarify for me? Sure, I'll try. What's your question? All right, on Radio Afterlife, folks, it's got to get going. It's shifting from channel to channel on my speakers. That's cool. Now it's on both. Haven't played this on the laptop before.
The veil stretches wide under an endless sky. Golden grass whispers as the wind rolls by.
I love this horse.
I've walked the Drakensberg, climbed its stone spine, but the road keeps calling. Its voice ain't kind. I gotta get going. Can't stand still. The clock keeps ticking. It always will. South Africa, you're a song I'll hum, but the future's out there and I've gotta run. The market's alive, 1,000 smells, laughing voices, and stories to tell. I've danced to the rhythms, felt the earth shake, but the journey's ahead, and my heart can't wait.
Hang on, I'm going to answer Tony's question. Okay, Tony, let me put this in context for you, okay? First off, the whole purpose of the time frame on there was to give the U.S. government a sense of when people would be available to go. If 150,000 people said they're ready to go tomorrow, we couldn't possibly accommodate that, all right? So it's not going to have an impact on when you go, other than if that's when you said you want to go, it may be scheduled. There's no guarantee of that, okay? So don't sweat that. Don't let that bother you, okay? The only problem why I waited so long, you didn't wait long. First off, you've got people moaning that, I did this 6 months I've been waiting. There's been no 6 months. So, people who sent in emails to PRM, some of them still haven't gone, and they're going. And they did that between February 10th and May 12th. Many people put their application, or not application, but put their statements of interest in since then, have not been called. Many have. I have now over 100 people have contacted me who were in the past week contacted, interviewed telephonically for screening, filled out the forms for the background checks, or did medical checks and things like that. So it's happening. Don't worry about the time frame. The only thing is that if you did tell them a long time off and they contact you, they'll ask you, is that still valid? If your situation's changed, then your situation's changed. No, I can go tomorrow. No, I have to wait 6 months, okay? Don't lose any sleep over that, and don't fill another statement because you'll just piss them off. They told us that. It's on the website.
I'll miss the sunsets while I'm free, but there's something out there waiting for me. I gotta get going, can't stand still. The clock keeps ticking, it always will. South Africa, your song I'll hum, but the future's out there. I've gotta run goodbye to the past, the warm red sand, to the echoes of life in this ancient land. I'll carry your spirit wherever I roam, but I can't build my future in a place called home.
The good news is I'm in a part of the hotel by myself. A lot of people checked out tonight. Otherwise, I might be disturbing somebody with this music. Restraining kids. Yeah, just make sure when they put you on the flight, you ask for the Knobs and McKeezy restraining kit. That's the one you want. You want the Knobs and McKeezy special restraining kit when you get on a plane. That's the one you're looking for. Hey, Carlos, what's going on, Hank? Hello to you. Theo Holmes, Southwest plane that plunged midair to avoid some collision. No, I didn't hear about that, Phoenix. Didn't hear about that. Oh yeah, Southwest pilots are good. They're good pilots. Yeah, yeah. I'm not surprised either. Look, I was on a plane that freaking dropped like 10,000 feet. That was pretty. That was startling. That was over the Atlantic or South, like a long time ago. That was wow. What an experience that was. I had never hit turbulence like that before in my life. Felt like the plane was going to snap apart. 50 Shades of Grey restraining kit. The big handcuffs. I tell myself it will happen as it should. Okay. My bark is worse than my bite. Okay. Well, why are you biting? Hey, Pearl, what's going on? Yeah. All right. So back to the news here. So no extensions on the tariff, folks. That's what I said, and here it's coming to an end. Ramaphosa, and this is what something Alan was watching, he told the Liberation Movement Summit it's time for Africa to process its own raw materials. Yeah, fine. Except you won't be able to. How are you going to be able to do that? You haven't built the capacity because you stole all the money. We've given you tens of billions, hundreds of billions of dollars, and you pissed it all in the drain. So how exactly are you going to do this? Ramaphosa says Africa will never prosper if it continues to export raw materials and rely on factories far from shores or finished goods. Yeah, well then why are you letting the Chinese steal all your industrial capacity there, Cyril? Speaking of the 2025 Liberation Movement Summit, what happened to liberation movements? Who's still impressed? The only places that are still colonized in this world are Western Sahara, Greenland, and the mines at EFF, because I've colonized their mines. I mean, there's what else is colonized? There's no colonies. So I don't know what these people are talking about. It's nonsense. They're just being racist clowns. Yeah. Liberation Summit with liberation. People coming from broken countries, they've stolen everything. Talking about liberation. Cairo to Joburg, Air Egypt, 19 hours cruising, slow, no fuel refuel. It was hell on a seat. That's good lord. What were you flying? A freaking a prop? It doesn't take 19 hours to get from Cairo. It's like not even a 12-hour flight. Huh. Excuse me. No, Trump is not going to get an extension. It's over. Game is up. Cyril's living. It's right. He's living in rainbows. Yeah. Yeah, 19 hours. That's. I mean, I've done almost 17, but 19. Well, something can stay in the air. Oh yeah, they can with mid-air refuel. We've also got global hawks that stay in the air for weeks on end. Yep, weeks on end. Yep. So, but yes, not without refuel. Yeah. Well, I mean, look how 37 hours flying straight for the B-2 bombers, man. I'm grateful I worked in the U.S. before. It helped ease the stress and gave me a clear picture. See, his visa took 18 months. Yeah. A plane in Scotland had to land urgently due to a guy coming out of the toilet shouting he has a bomb. What? Wow, I didn't hear about that, Julie. When did that happen? Yes, Loretta, but I'll be up early because I'm going to be up at 6 at the latest. Arctic modifies his statement now. He stands corrected. Nothing civilian can stay in the air. Yes, but something can stay in the air that long. It's just not the civilian. Oh my goodness. Anyway, back to this. Gotta get going. Yeah, all right. What else did I have here? Oh yeah, the debt thing. Yeah, Ramaphosa says debt is replaced to change the slavery. This guy's really just trying to milk all the stupidity he can. But the United States and the European Union have clinched a deal with broad 15% tariffs on EU goods to avert trade war. Yep. 15%. I think it's the biggest deal ever made, Trump said. 15% across the board. And it's still an advantage for Europe. I mean, they're going to charge us 10% for our cars plus that. So automobiles for Europe is going to be 15%. South Africa, your nail has gone in the coffin. You're still paying 25%. That's going to go to 30%. And the Europeans are going to pay half that tariff to get their cars in America. It's over. Wow. Yikes. So he got the deal before August 1st. But, CNN said that Trump went to Europe to escape D.C. because of the Epstein stuff. No, he went there to solve. So apparently the Jackass Penguins have got some new friends. The guys, was it Saku? Was that Saku? Yeah, Sanku. The South African National Foundation for Conservation of Coastal Birds. They have increased their ability to take on abandoned Jackass penguin eggs. They say 80% of them hatch and they put them out in the wild. So those penguins are critically endangered. Yep. So pretty cool. Kenny Kunene quit. Joburg mayor says he's powerless after sudden resignation. Joburg mayor may be powerless, but the National Prosecuting Authority is not powerless. Wow, someone needs to investigate what's going on with Kenny Kunene. This is the hardest letter I had to write in my entire life. For the sake of full transparency, I'm putting it here. I lost my internet. What the hell? Oh, this is annoying. Oh. I'm still live with my phone, so maybe it's on the network. I don't know. Wow. This is ridiculous. Thank you. Yeah, Maddie. So I've lost my internet on my laptop. It's gone. What the hell's going on here? I had to reset the stupid router earlier. Fortunately it's here. I can do it. I don't know why it's doing that. It's right when I need it. Nah, it's not working. What a pain in the ass. Anyway, good thing I looked at all this stuff earlier. But I won't be able to make a song without the internet. That sucks. So Mnangagwa outlines Zimbabwe's path to become an economic powerhouse. Zimbabwean President Emerson Mnangagwa has laid out a sweeping economic transformation strategy aimed at empowering the country's youth, boosting rural economies, and positioning Zimbabwe as a driver of African innovation. Okay, now where the hell is this at? Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. Try to connect again over here. Let's connect to two of them. Well, it looks like I'm back. Gee, many crickets. Gee, many crickets. What a pain in the butt. Let's try to make a song now, folks. Let's make a song. Oh, there you go. There you go. I'm gonna do it. I got an idea. I got an idea. Now I get internet back. Hopefully it'll stay long enough for me to create this song, okay? All right, let's see how this goes. You can't drink coffee and stare out the window and those, huh? Let's see what happens here. Good morning. Let's see what happens. Ticking clock. All right, let's see what we come up with here, folks. Video's testing my Afrikaans there, man. Too many G words. You Afrikaners love those G words, man. You really, really do. You love those G words. All right, here we go. Ticking clock. Let's see how this sounds. Better get better.
Clock's ticking, the hourglass is leaking sand. Ramaphosa on the stage, but no mic in his hand. Jobs vanish quicker than smoke from a pipe. Aim 6 speeches, just political hype. Prevaricate, hesitate, promises mutate while the people marinate in a poverty state. Days to go, the clock won't slow. The ancient let us down, that's the show. Trip to China, but America's a ghost. Commies true intent, toast to the host. Factory solid, dreams crumble like stone. Youth on the corner, abandoned alone. Talk of reform, but the action nation's a ghost. Caviar dinner, champagne for a toast. While the streets cry hunger, leaders debate, policies delayed. It's a nation's fate. Tick tock, hands on the dial. People marching the streets on trial. Promises cracked, the glass half shattered. Future slipping, none of it mattered. Go, days to go, the clock won't slow. The aim shit let us down, that's the show. Tripped in China, but America's a ghost. Commies true intent, toast to the host.
That's version 1. Let's hear number 2.
Clock's ticking, the hourglass is leaking sand. Ramaphosa on the stage, but no mic in his hand. Josh vanish quicker than smoke from a pipe. Ain't shit speeches, just political hype. Prevaricate, hesitate, promises mutate while the people marinate in a poverty state. Thanks. Days to go, the clock won't slow. The ain't shit let us down, that's the show.
All right, let's try something else. You guys didn't like that so much, huh? Okay. A little too hard hip hop there. A little too hard. Tupac is getting jealous. Yeah, that's right. It's ANC rap. That's right. Or, yeah. This is my first connection to live chat. Well, hey, Johan Steinberg, welcome to you. What's unreliable, Arctic? Denise Bellington says you're inspiration for all this. Well, thank you. I'll try. Hey, what's up? There's Xavier Grayling. I wonder where he was at. He's usually here. All right, let's see. Ticking down the days. Let's see how this one goes. Reverted back to new wave. That's the first one. Let's hear the second one.
Clock is ticking, days grow thin. Promises break like a brittle wind.
This is a real Pet Shop Boys vibe.
Hope fades away like a thread that's shred. Tick, tick, tock, the days won't slow. Tick, tick, tock, the cracks still show. You let us down again, again. thousand speeches lead us nowhere. Trips to China, but the West stays cold. What's the price of the truth you sold? Spinning tales, spinning wheels, but the ground beneath me feels unreal. Tick, tick, tock, the days won't slow. Tick, tick, tock, the cracks still show. You let us down again, again. River flows, so where you been? The shadows lengthen across the land. Promises crumble like grains of sand. When the clock strikes, will we rise or watch it fade beneath the
Yeah, that one's pretty good. That one's pretty good. It's a longer version. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, I like that one. What was that last comic? Check in daily, extended family. Okay. Okay, nice song, Tom says. Cool. This version, yeah, Husky, I like that one better too. That's called Ticking Down the Days. Yeah, has a nice build up too. Yep. Cool. Oh, you guys like that one. A lot of people like that. Colonel has too diversity to reach broad audience. I liked maybe a bit harsh for others this time of day, but like many music genres, punk rock, yeah, reggae. I'd like to do a reggae version of that. Still reggae version. I always spell reggae wrong. There you go, reggae. Breaking records of how many credits I'm using. The Thing of Nouns is back. What's going on, man? What's going on? Ticking time bomb. This one's good. Here we go. Damn. Hot that fire.
Clock is ticking, time won't wait. Days are slipping like sand through a gate. Promises vanish in the instant haze. Ramaphosa speaks, but the people pay. Tick tock, the time is gone. Trust is torn. Tick tock, the time is gone. Tick tock, what went wrong? Tick tock, we're holding on, but the jobs are gone. The trust is torn. Trip to China, shaking hands in the east.
Yeah, that's not bad. There's the second one here.
Sand through a gate. Promises vanish in the ancient haze. Ramaphosa speaks, but the people pay. Tick tock, the time is gone.
I like this version.
Tick tock, what went wrong? Tick tock, we're holding on, but the jobs are gone, the trust is torn. Trip to China, shaking hands and knees, while the West stays goes like a vanished piece.
All right, that's good. Cool. We'll go with that one. Cool beans. All right. Anyway, let's see how my last video did. It's got 800 views. Okay. I don't know. You could probably put it in. It's pretty smart. But I'm not an expert on music, so I'm not the guy to answer. Top brass in Judah. They really not care and I have a concern. Yeah, exactly. Their agriculture and the automotive industry are collapsing. All right, Loretta. UB40, yeah. Conrad Clubber. Folks, I hate to end it early, but I'm kind of knackered, and it's 11 p.m. here. I need to shower because I was all sweaty today, and get some rest and get up early to do those interviews with Earl Langton. So, all right. You guys have a good evening, and thank you for being here. I'm sorry to cut it early tonight, but it's been a long day. All right, be sure to hit the like button. Not many likes on that, okay? You guys take care of yourself, and we'll catch you later on. Night-night. Cheers. How was the game with the referee? It was fantastic. I mentioned that.